He just tried to get a roof over our head, food to us, everything's like give us the best life there could be.
15-year-old Oscar Lopez says his stepfather is the hardest working man he knows.
I don't know, I don't even like see him as an undocumented person anymore because he's lived here for so long.
His family and others still feel numb. More than 24 hours after immigration agents detained his dad and 31 others outside Midwest precast concrete.
There's also other students at school that I know of that their father got taken also.
That if we each lived by the golden rule.
But together, some residents are standing up for families impacted by the raid, saying they're not criminals, but members of the community.
So this is something personal for me, because this is my country, and I don't like what I am seeing right now.
This was an attack on small-town Iowa, and besides caring for the needs of the detainees and the families of the detainees, LULAC wants to hold politicians accountable for maintaining this broken immigration system.
But caring for families that lost more than just a person.
Him and my mom both work, but he brought in bigger income.
Here at the First Presbyterian Church in Mount Pleasant, families are being helped as they wait to hear on the status of their loved ones. From donations that will help pay for food, bills, and bonds, they may hope to one day reunite them with family.
One thing that may complicate things is what the charges are going to be.
Oscar says he's grateful he's been able to speak with his dad.
He's just been trying to stay strong for us.
But he says he doesn't know what the future has to hold, and it's upsetting.
Soccer, since we both played and we both enjoy it, and right now it's soccer season, won't be able to see him.
In Mount Pleasant, Gabriela, Vidal, CBS 2 News.
This flag is extremely important to me. I just wanted it back by Memorial Day.
Korean War veteran Bill Coulter gets up every morning to look at the city's iconic American flag in the distance.
And when it disappeared, I couldn't imagine it.
For more than a decade, it's been the pride of independence, a symbol to all who have laid down their lives for freedom.
To us, this flag is the ultimate.
We just feel that because it's along Highway 20, that signifies that Independence, Iowa is here on the map, and they support the United States of America.
Even though city leaders voted to take the flag down, Bill couldn't give up.
I ordered a flag.
He spent $260 on a flag.
That flag we put up this morning.
A gift to fly Old Glory for Memorial Day.
I have a second flag as a backup.
And now veteran organizations and others in the community are raising money to pay for future flags.
We want to contribute enough to keep that flag flying.
Some say it shouldn't be up to the veterans to keep it in the air. But Bill says it's sacrifice worth making for the sacrifices it represents.
We are going to try to raise enough money so this will always be privately funded.
Football is just a fun way to have fun and be yourself.
These young football players in Muscatine are enjoying the fun of the game, but now with a little support behind them.
So we've been using Tackle Bar now for 2 years.
With this device, players are introduced to the mechanics of tackling without facing the actual blow of a fall.
They're learning how to make contact, because that's what those tackle bars are hidden behind their back for. Make contact, and then as they make contact, they're pulling the bar off, and then the play is being blown dead.
You can wrap around to grab the tackle bars, but you can't physically pull them to the ground.
Oh, keep going, keep going.
Unlike flag football, players using tackle bar face their opponents in full tackle gear, which builds greater skill and confidence at an early age.
And they're able to learn a game of football and not have that fear factor of, am I going to take a big hit? Am I going to get tackled?
For parents like Heidi Stoll, Tackle Bar gave her peace of mind when her son stepped onto the field for the first time.
I was a little hesitant at first because, of the concussion injuries, and what that can lead to, later in life.
9 times out of 10, when you see that happen in the bigger levels, it's because they are leading with their head. They're tackling wrong.
Come from this angle, remember your head's on this side.
But by using Tackle Bar now, Coach Dustin Ballard says players can peel back those fears and be ready to tackle in future leagues.
If we can slow the game down, which this does, the tackle bar, and we can teach them the right fundamentals, that they'll be prepared to prevent any possible concussions later in life.
Was sickening and sad.
Some Vinton residents woke up with a similar feeling after seeing police and rescue organizations carry out up to 1,000 small animals from a home on 6th Street Tuesday afternoon.
I don't know why anybody would have that many animals.
Gloria Orcutt lives near the house where police are now conducting an animal welfare investigation.
They fairly new in the neighborhood. You never saw any animals outside.
Police say animals including chinchillas, rabbits, mice, hedgehogs, birds, and guinea pigs were crammed inside tight cages and without enough food or water. The Cedar Valley Humane Society says in the 24 hours since their rescue, a vet confirmed many of these animals are still struggling.
A large majority of them have fungal skin infections that are indicative of living long-term in feces and urine.
But on Tuesday, the homeowner says she was rescuing these animals, and some were show animals for her children.
My kids take pride in those types of things, of educating people about these types of animals.
But the Iowa Department of Agriculture says Babs Galkowski didn't have proper licensing to run a rescue operation.
The number of animals just here in our building is taking 8 people 12-hour days to take care of. Between one person and a couple of children potentially taking care of them, I just don't think it's physically possible for them to have been doing what they say they were.
Galkowski is denying reports that some of the animals had unprofessional surgery performed on them. Police also found several dead animals in various parts of the house, but Galkowski argues she rescued many animals close to dying.
I donate them up to a raptor project that feeds raptor birds and rescues, so they go to a good cause. They're just not wasted away.
But Preston Morris says filthy cages and the animals he saw inside the house told a different story.
This should not have gotten this bad.
It probably will take all week for it to get back into the normal banks that we're used to.
A raging Wapsi River now floods the basement floor inside the Wapsipinicon Mill.
Yesterday you couldn't see any of it, so the river has receded.
When the river rises over 9 feet, Leanne Harrison opens the windows of the mill to keep the water's pressure from damaging the 150-year-old building. She says flooding is always an inconvenience in Independence, but never really a surprise.
18 foot or above there, it starts affecting a lot of different things. It affects more people in the lower areas, more businesses. It starts closing bridges. That's the big thing right there.
Which happened in 1999 when the Wapsi crested at a historic 22.35 feet.
We lost a lot of the windows. They blew out.
So that's hole number 1 there.
Managing broker Heather Fittersfield, who is also living along the river, says the river continues to test the city's ability to stay afloat and prepare for the worst.
I am kayaking over the golf course, over River Ridge Golf Course, hole number 1. So it's going to be that far now. So it's added about an extra 10-15 minutes.
But she says it's a path she's willing to take or sail if it means living by the Wapsi.
For those of us that love the river, we really just go with the flow.